Hey everyone, welcome back to my little corner of the internet. My name is Sunny and I talk about all things health and wellness and yoga and just whatever kind of floats my boat. I am currently, I guess it's been a while since I've done like a little check-in and update. I think the last time I made a video was last week and I was experiencing the worst eczema flare-up of my life. It had just started when I made that video, was just coming in a little bit of a rash on my face. So yeah, I wanted to give you all an update on how that's been going and also where my head is at. When I mentioned that eczema flare-up last week, I was talking about maybe doing another juice fast, maybe doing another water fast, trying to figure out where to go, how to heal myself, and also figure out what caused it, what caused the flare-up. So I don't know. I've been playing a guessing game and I think I have an idea of what caused it, right? So I want to talk a little bit about fasting and why I think it's important, but also why I think the amount of time you fast for, as well as how you break your fast, is super important. As you know, or maybe you don't know, I did a 15-day juice fast that over time progressed more into a water broth type of fast. And in the past, whenever I have gone on my standard 10-day juice fast, I always focused on feasting. So I was only consuming juice that I made, but I was consuming as much of it as I thought I needed, as much as I could drink. And that was me following the Joe Cross Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead mentality, just really focusing on rebooting my system and juice feasting. This past fast, I really got inspired and interested in the whole water fast realm and dry fasting. And I was doing so much research about that type of fasting. And I got really inspired, and towards, like I said, the end of my fast, I was really transitioning to more of a fasting mentality and not a juice feasting mentality. Okay, so I think that has something to do with it, with that outbreak. That I think I brought a lot of stress to my body doing a more traditional fast. Also the amount of time. The longest fast I used to ever do was 10 days. That was my standard. Last December for the winter solstice, I did try a 12-day fast that I found very challenging. This additional 2 days was pretty tough. And then this summer solstice, I decided to do a 15-day fast. So I've never gone past that. That was the longest stint I ever did. I've mentioned that numerous times. And it was really challenging for me in terms of, I felt really good on it, but I think that was just an additional stress that I put on my body that it's not used to. And it's not like I did lose some weight, some water weight, and I think also some fat from my fast, but it's not like I'm a person that has a lot of extra weight to lose. Of course, like most of us, I'm like, oh, if I lost 5 or 10 pounds, blah, blah, blah. But I don't have to lose that weight to be in a healthy weight range. So I think, that was also an additional stress that my body just didn't necessarily need. And the amount of time was pretty long. And I know that people do even longer fasts than I did, but I think that for me it was just a pretty big stress I put on my body. So, because if you have eczema, or if you know anybody who has it, everyone will tell you can get it because you are stressed. That's the number one reason that I hear. Diet, so if you are allergic or intolerant to something, and also diet, environmental stuff. Yeah, so those are I'm missing something. Oh, moisturizing too, just having dry skin can also cause it. So those are the reasons that a lot of people have, a lot of people get flare-ups, is because of, like I said, diet, stress, and also just moisturizing their skin, keeping everything nice and moisturized is important. So, I don't know where I'm going with all of that. Sorry, y'all. I'm blanking. But last week, I had the worst flare-up of my life. It was absolutely awful. I wanted to film a video of it, but I think subconsciously I was a little bit nervous about it. But you can see here, you can't even see it. My camera does not do a good job of picking up different things, but you can kind of see this right here. So this was super inflamed and it was heavy. It was almost as it looked like I had a tooth extracted or something by how big my cheek was, and it drooped down because it was so heavy. The rash was so heavy, it drooped. So my face, no matter what I did, it looked lopsided. really intense, and I was a little bit embarrassed about it, if I'm being honest. Like, it was really hard to be trying to speak about wellness, and like I couldn't even control what was happening on my face or my body. I also got my flare up all around here on my neck. You can see all on the back of my neck as well. It was awful. I was so itchy. I have the type of eczema that is super, super itchy when it gets inflamed. It was miserable. And I canceled my yoga classes last week because I was feeling so under the weather, and I just was, like I said, embarrassed. And yeah, it was bad. This week is a little bit better. I do want to say that I've always had eczema, even as a child. I used to get it on my elbows and my knees and sometimes my feet, just places that tend to be a little bit more dry. But the past 2 years, my eczema has been absolutely crazy, so intense. Last year was the first year I ever got it on my face, and it was, like I said, it was absolutely awful. This year it was like 2 times worse than it was last year, just a spread of it all on my upper body. I had it on my elbows like I normally do, also in the inner crease of my arm. I had it on my legs, I had it on my stomach. I had it everywhere this year, and it was, I don't know, I'm thinking that it was a stress the stress I put on my body from fasting for 15 days. And also I think it was the stress of eating again, because I've been doing some research, and how you break a fast is so important, and I've always known that. But I've been reading that I really should have broken my fast with higher fat and less carbs, less sugar. So I broke my fast. I taped that as well. I videotaped that and shared that online. But I broke my fast with some foods I didn't quite like, that were acidic, like onions, and I did olives, and I don't even know what else. And then I also ate a lot of fruit. I had cherries and strawberries, I think, and salad, like kale salad. So just a lot of veggies and a lot of fiber. And I think having all of that fiber really upset my stomach and really caused some inflammation in my body and some stress in my body, which I think led to my eczema breakout. So I think all of that pair just led to one of the worst breakouts of my life. Last year, when I had my flare up on my face for the first time, it was in April. This year it was in June. And last year when I did it, there was no fasting that happened. It just came on my face for I don't know what. So I couldn't even like do a core, like I couldn't even figure out if there was a similarity between last year and this year, because the time frame was completely different. Where I was with my body, it was completely different in terms of like coming from a fasting point this year to not last year. So yeah, I don't know what causes my outbreaks. I do think what caused this one though was extreme stress that I put on my body. People kept saying stress is what probably caused it. And I couldn't think of anything that stressed me out. I mean, I feel like if I was going to be stressed, it would have been back in May when my husband broke his leg and we had to cancel our big trip that we had been planning. And I feel like that would have caused a big outbreak, a big flare up, but it didn't. And I think breaking my fast, how I did it, how long I did the fast for, all of that, I think really played a role. So if you are somebody who has eczema or any type of skin condition that can be caused by stress or anything, I really recommend thinking about your fast in a different way, right? Like thinking about how long you can do it without causing extreme stress to your body, and how you want to break your fast. I recommend at this point breaking a fast with a higher fat diet, a higher fat food, than breaking it with high fiber foods, because that fiber, your body hasn't digested fiber in X amount of days. For me, it was 15 days. There was no fiber entering my body, and all of a sudden there was a bunch of fiber my body had to digest and break down, a bunch of sugar. Even though it was natural sugars from fruits, there's still a bunch of sugars, so my insulin spiked and all of that. So I just feel like if you were going on an extended fast, I would really recommend, like I said, higher fat, really considering how many days your body can handle. And yeah, so, and I mentioned last week, another thing I want to address is last week I did mention that I was going to go on a water fast to try to see if I can get the eczema to not flare up. What I ended up doing is I was thinking 5-day water fast, and in my head that just felt so intense. And I ended up not doing it, so I didn't film it or anything because I didn't do it. I did 1 day of water fasting, and I was going to go with the second day, and I just started feeling a little bit disordered in my thought processes, and and yeah, I didn't want to put my body under that again. In my head at the time when I mentioned it, it made sense, but after sitting with it and researching more, going from one fast to another one just felt like the worst thing I could do in terms of putting stress on my body, so I did not end up doing that. And yeah, I think that is pretty much my update. I just wanted to check in, let y'all know how I'm doing. I am still here. I am okay. I'm trying to figure out where to go with this this whole thing. With this channel and everything, I have a lot of interest, and I know that I was doing yoga videos for a while, and I would like to share those still. But yeah, just trying to figure all of that out. But yeah, if you have any suggestions of things you would like to see, all like 6 of you, please let me know. I would love to, you know, to make videos people want to watch. Yeah, I think that is my update. I wanted to make a video this week, and now that I'm like healing a little bit, I'm not nearly as like inflamed as I was. Like all of these, it's just all of the stuff that you see that you can maybe see if my camera is picking it up is discoloration, like a scarring effect. Is not inflamed anymore. It's not itchy anymore. I'm so thankful. I was so freaking miserable. Like I was so miserable. I just wanted to curl up and not see the world, but I'm better now, so that's good. I think that is it for today. I just wanted to give you all an update. I'm thinking about maybe doing like a little vlog or something for the weekend. Our garden is in bloom, and it's beautiful, producing lots of yummy foods. I'm about to make some salsa right now from our garden with our poblanos and our jalapenos, and we have green tomatoes I'm going to use instead of tomatillos. So yeah, I'm super excited about that, and that's all I got for today. I just am so thankful for you all watching and checking in. I hope that you go out and create some joy for yourself and for others, and that you have a wonderful day, whatever time of day it is for you. Real sees real, so I will see you next time. Bye.